Welcome. I'm Angelo at Family Office Association. Today, I'd like to talk about talent, the people in a family office. People are the lifeblood of a single family office. What does it start with? It starts with leadership. Leadership within the family, engaging the generations and the people that are affected, as well as leaders in the family office. In theory, everyone who's an employee in a small, relatively small entity like a single family office should be a leader. But we do know there usually is going to be one person that is going to be a president, a CEO, and perhaps others that will be C-level executives. So leaders create culture, and culture is incredibly important. And yes, there is a difference in the culture of the family per se and the leadership and the single family office. They're aligned, but there is a distinct difference which is important to understand. You want to have a sense of proper structures of boards and committees. So although we all like to be a little freewheeling and do it on the fly, you do have to have a sense of structure within leadership and culture and the organization, and defining what those goals are within the family office for the people, the talent, to best execute on. There are some family offices that are more service-centric, including some of the largest single-family offices in the world, where the person who leads the family office and the talent and the resources dedicated to it are dedicated to the request, which could be hundreds per month, of that specific family. And you see people often in hospitality or experiences in hospitality that would take a leadership role in that type of family office. That is not the most common. We do know that most family offices tend to be centric relative to the investing portfolio and the greater tax picture of that family. And what's the issue that I talk about? The family is already very rich. They want to stay rich over generations. So hedging and mitigating against risk, more than just investment risk, from confiscation, which effectively taxation through the government, regulation, and other types of risk that are out there. What are certain traits that you generally see, no matter what type of family office it is? You want to see a sense of the person's character, a beginner's mindset, willing to be a lifelong learner, realizing that things change and you can't go into something with a steadfast mindset. Be of humble, be of service. At the end of the day, it is a service-centric position. You're servicing the needs of the family. Even if there's great skill involved in a specific skill set, you still need to have that capability of being humble and being of service. Of course, there's going to want to be specific skill sets that you're going to see. There may be a specific need for investing in the endowment style. There may be a need for direct investing, and that's going to require specific expertise in taxation and legal, in concierge and more lifestyle services. Now, again, it's going to be important to understand, what are we going to do in-source and what are we going to outsource? And even if we're going to outsource, we still need to do diligence on the outsource partners, get the best pricing and service possible, and still be involved in that relationship. So there still is a strong level of involvement, in my opinion, even in outsourced relationships. But at the end of the day, you have a single family office for the ultimate in privacy control and customization. And you're going to want to have that single family office have talent and resources dedicated to really the core goals that you have. Admittingly, they may change, which is why you want to have a single family office and executives that understand that and have the capabilities to do that. Now, I've spoken about A players before. Of course, you want to have people that have great skill set and are incredibly talented. But if you're not going to utilize that person really a lot, are you going to bring on board someone who's an A player, who has a great skill set, who's costing a lot of money, and in a couple of weeks, their core job is effectively done, and they're bored, they're twiddling their thumbs? You're better off outsourcing that person keeping them fresh at a larger organization or institution that sees not as siloed as in your family office and sees a broader display of things that could be applicable relative that they could take to you. I think that's important to understand. Also, sometimes A++ players could have a little bit of an ego. And in a small entity, which is usually 3 to 10 or 15 employees of a single family office, that could stand out like a sore thumb and not really contribute to culture. That doesn't mean that that person is not important. They are. They may have a specific skill set that comes with other baggage. That's fine. But you're probably better off having them outsourced. There are some nuances where you'll see family offices, but you'll also see separate entities of a direct investing team, which may be loosely under the auspice of the SFO, but for the most part run somewhat independently. You could have a little bit more of those kind of personalities inside that type of entity. It's not really polluting, per se, the single family office. Skill sets that I believe we're going to start to see more of are polymath, people that have multiple skill sets. We think that's going to be important moving forward within the family office. I already noted emotional intelligence, the ability to listen, to be empathetic, to work well with others, to managing one's emotions, but to also, and sometimes people with a very linear skill set tend to be very left-brained, very right down the middle. And again, sometimes you do need that. But in general, in a smaller entity that needs to be created in today's more challenging world, you want to look for, again, good listeners, empathetic, people that work well with others, that believe in collaborating as a team is better than the individual perspective. You want to have people that are more on the creative side, that are more, let's say, more right brain would be the way to put it. You want to apply their knowledge to new stimuluses, and you want to keep them fresh. In the past, what's been most traditional is a patriarch or matriarch hiring someone they have an existing relationship with and have known because they trust that person. And that's an incredibly important trait. A family probably would rather have trust and dedication more than someone who's questionable on their character and that, but great in a specific skill set. Again, sometimes that could simply be outsourced. However, you are starting to see a trend which is more geared to family offices becoming more rigorous, becoming more institutional. But don't forget, there still is the word family in family office. So you need to have that balance, the quantitative with the qualitative. Again, starting to see the trends in family offices be more rigorous and institutional. Other trends, as I noted, is more of a virtual family office, which is more focused on outsourcing and leveraging technology. And actually, on that front, in my opinion, you want to have somewhat a diversity of people's backgrounds in the family office as well. You don't want groupthink. You want people to challenge assumptions, and you want a leader that, again, has a beginner's mindset and doesn't have an ego. They're there to be a service to the family, and they're realizing the value in culture. Not everyone should be, 55 to 62 and went to the same type of college and be of the same background and nationality. That's not necessarily the diversity in today's world and how things are trending that you're necessarily going to want to see. You do want to have a mix of elders with deep experiences, as well as a younger audience or younger relationships that take a different perspective into the family office. You do want to be, now more so with what's going on with the coronavirus and more remote family offices, we do believe in being tech savvy and being more native digitally to technology, communication protocols and software, project management, aggregation, reporting, broadly the utilization of technology. And again, that goes down to applying knowledge and new stimuluses. It needs to be not just one person, because what happens if that one person moves on? You need to have that mindset in the family office as we must always improve. We must enhance our digital capabilities, our technology, and sometimes do more with less in terms of people. You want to have a remarkable place to work. You want to create that environment if you're the family and the leader of the family office. You have to care about the executives in your family office. They need to get compensated properly, well, for their job. They need to have ancillary benefits in today's world, from health insurance to other benefits to time off to maybe certain luxuries and perks that the family may have access to that could help provide that to the executive. It needs to be more than a one-way street. If you want their dedication and you want their talent and skills, you want to have a great working environment, a remarkable place to work. Is hiring an HR professional? Sometimes that could be a good move, but I also think sometimes that could add a layer of bureaucracy to a small, nimble organization that doesn't really need to be that way. Are we starting to see more unique hires? We know about the classics: investing, direct investing, accounting, legal, concierge and lifestyle, and support services to all that. But how about hardcore cybersecurity, data analytics? But with data analytics, how often do family offices really utilize that may be better off outsourced? You may have people that have dual degrees. It may make some sense to be able to speak multiple languages depending on the perspective of the family office and how global they are and how they're engaging around the world. So again, I take a subject that is a multi-day masterclass and among the most important for a single family office to be successful. More than the technology, maybe even more than the underlying operational and culture, is going to be actually the people that are involved. No matter how much the technology progresses, it doesn't get rid of the value and need for having the right people in the right position. Now again, a polymath with multiple skill sets is a trend that we're starting to see, especially in smaller family offices where people are doing more with less. But covering in 10 minutes an incredibly complex subject. We love to do master classes dedicated to talent and resources in the family office. And I'm Angelo Robles at Family Office Association. We're a global membership organization dedicated to the interest of families of great wealth and single family offices, providing them content, resources, connectivity, peer-to-peer connectivity, and the opportunity to engage with their peers in online meetings and physical meetings, and again, providing the resources specifically dedicated to some of the topics that we spoke about today. Everyone, I'm Angelo Robles at Family Office Association.